Speed and Gwen's Deep Dive podcast is an official podcast made by Speed and Gwen with the voice made from Google's Notebook LM. Do not reproduce our podcast without permissions from the owner. Welcome to the Speed and Gwen's Deep Dive podcast. So, imagine being Shakira right now.
Oh, man, I can only imagine.
Right. Like, you have millions of dollars in backing, you've got this legacy status as a global icon, and the official rubber-stamped approval of FIFA to do the World Cup soundtrack.
Yeah, you do the studio sessions, you shoot the highly choreographed videos.
Exactly. You're preparing for just total global domination.
Yeah.
And then this 21-year-old kid wearing a Cristiano Ronaldo jersey drops a secretly recorded video from Miami.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And suddenly the entire internet is demanding you step aside.
It's wild.
It is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026, and the 2026 FIFA World Cup is in full swing right now across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Having a great time watching it, too.
Oh, same. But, parallel to all the action on the pitch, there's this massive cultural earthquake happening. We've got a stack of research today, from global news outlets to music charts to basically chronicle how a YouTube streamer named IShowSpeed essentially gate-crashed the official FIFA music machinery.
You really did.
Our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this massive clash between traditional global pop stars and the raw, unfiltered power of the creator economy.
Because, the barrier to entry for defining global culture has just completely evaporated.
Right.
For almost a century, institutions like FIFA have held the keys to the cultural soundtrack of their events,
Yeah.
They decided what the fans would listen to.
They own the radio tower.
Exactly. But what we are seeing unfold right now proves that the audience has built their own infrastructure. They don't need the institution's permission to elevate their own chosen anthems anymore.
So let's look at the anatomy of how a streamer actually disrupts a multi-billion-dollar tournament.
Let's do it.
Because to understand the shift, you have to look at the track itself and how it was just unleashed on the world. June 1st, 2026, just days before the tournament kicked off.
Cutting it close.
Very close. IShowSpeed drops a song called World Cup Champions. And there is no massive PR campaign.
No.
There are no billboard teasers in Times Square. It was just a total surprise drop.
Yeah, he just releases a music video filmed in Miami featuring stadium-inspired settings, clouds of colored powder, some traditional dancers, and that's it.
And the numbers.
Oh, the immediate algorithmic velocity was staggering. Within the first 24 hours of its release, the song racked up 50 million combined views across all platforms.
Wait, 50 million in a day?
Yeah, including 6 million views on YouTube within the first day alone.
That is insane.
But the most revealing metric is actually Instagram Reels. A teaser posted there gathered 40 million views and over 4 million likes in roughly 24 hours.
Wow.
And the version on X drew 36 million views. Traditional record labels will spend entire quarters and millions of dollars trying to engineer a fraction of that virality.
And he achieved it organically over a weekend.
Exactly.
I listened to this track a few times getting ready for this deep dive, and honestly, my first thought was that it sounds a little unfinished.
Yeah, it's definitely chaotic.
Right. It doesn't have that pristine, mixed and mastered sheen of a massive pop release. But then, I caught myself tapping my foot, and the hook got completely stuck in my head.
It gets you.
It does. So is that lack of polish intentional? Is the roughness actually the feature rather than a bug?
Oh, it is absolutely the defining feature.
Right.
If you break down the musical composition based on the sources, he used an E minor chord progression.
Okay, E minor. What does that mean for the non-musicians out there?
So, musically speaking, E minor is like the ultimate cheat code for building tension.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually triggers a physiological response. It is the exact same musical key that makes you want to jump out of your seat when a penalty kick is being lined up.
Oh, wow. That makes so much sense.
Right. He takes that underlying tension and layers it with a blend of EDM, Brazilian funk, and mariachi.
Which perfectly reflects the global street-level culture of the sport.
Exactly. But the true genius of the track, the reason it bypassed all the official anthems, is the intro.
Oh, you're talking about the roll call.
The roll call. It is a rapid-fire alphabetical roll call of all 48 qualified teams.
Yes.
He starts with Algeria, Argentina, Australia, Austria, and just goes relentlessly all the way through to the USA, Uzbekistan, Uruguay, and Ivory Coast.
And he's going so fast, he literally sounds like he's running out of breath. Like he stumbles over a few of them.
But that's the thing. The physical exertion in his voice is what makes it work.
Yeah.
It isn't a sterile list read by a voiceover artist,
Right.
It creates this unified, almost desperate chant effect. Any slight mispronunciations or rush deliveries actually add a deeply personal touch.
It sounds exactly like a group of fans at a pub calling out their favorite teams before a big match.
Spot on. And then the lyrics mix English with Spanish phrases like uno, dos, tres, cuatro, and todo el mundo mirando, which means all the world is watching. It just captures the wild, organic energy of street football.
It's engineered for participation, not just passive listening. Like, that street-level, chant-like energy is exactly why it exploded on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a studio-perfected track is designed to sound great coming out of massive stadium speakers while you go buy a hot dog.
Right, it's background music.
Exactly. But Speed's track is designed for a teenager to put over their own backyard football highlights. But the moment a song becomes the people's anthem, it puts a massive target on its back. Because FIFA already spent millions deciding what the anthem was supposed to be, which brings us to the establishment.
Right, the official 2026 song is Die Die by Shakira and Burna Boy.
Shakira, I mean, she is practically synonymous with World Cup music.
Oh, totally. Waka Waka in 2010, Hips Don't Lie in 2006, La 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 in 2014. She is a legacy World Cup icon.
The undisputed queen of the World Cup.
Without a doubt. And the official 2026 album isn't just her. It features massive stars like Andre Bocelli, David Guetta, Megan Thee Stallion, Lisa from Blackpink, and Anita.
So it's basically a highly curated deployment of global star power.
It's the Avengers of global pop music.
Think about how wild that is for a second. If you are a record executive, you have assembled this unstoppable team. You have all the bases covered.
You'd think so, yeah.
And then a massive online debate erupts, and fans actually start petitioning for a YouTuber song to replace your lead single as the official anthem.
It's unprecedented.
But let me play devil's advocate and push back on the hype for a moment. Is it really fair to compare a 21-year-old's viral hype track to Shakira's global release? Like, doesn't the official song still dominate where it actually counts?
That's a really good question. And I was looking at a fact check on this from NewsX, which provides some really crucial context here.
Okay, what did they find?
Well, at the height of the frenzy, there was this rumor circulating online that Speed's track had hit 120 million views compared to Shakira's 70 million on a given day.
Oh, wow, really?
But NewsX verified that those specific numbers were actually exaggerated by fans.
Ah, okay. The internet doing its thing.
Exactly. The reality is that while Speed absolutely dominated the viral visual space, so TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, Shakira's Die Die still led heavily in global audio streams on platforms like the Billboard Global 200.
Right.
And critically, it led in international terrestrial radio airplay. So traditional metrics still heavily favored the establishment.
Sure, but the terrestrial radio numbers feel like a bit of a distraction from the real story.
How so?
Well, Speed didn't need to beat Shakira on FM radio because the demographic driving this phenomenon hasn't turned on an FM radio in their entire lives.
Oh, that is such a good point. And that right there is the core cultural shift. Fans are no longer willing to just passively accept what organizers choose for them.
Right.
Shakira's track had the advantage of fame, a massive team, and corporate legitimacy, but it also carried the burden of expectation. Older fans scrutinized Die Die against her past classics.
They wanted another Waka Waka.
Exactly. Speed came in as the total outsider. He wasn't bound by the official song format. The fans realized they had the collective power to elevate a creator's product to a community anthem just by using the audio in their posts.
He just had to capture the feeling of the tournament on the platforms where young fans actually live and communicate.
Yeah.
So how does a massive, highly bureaucratic institution react to being out-trended by a kid with a camera?
Well, faced with this massive grassroots movement, FIFA had a choice.
Right. They could ignore the streamer, protect their official artists, and just pretend this parallel viral movement wasn't happening.
Or they could bring him inside the tent.
Which is what they did.
Yeah. Speed tagged FIFA on social media, essentially asking them to consider his song. And FIFA's social media team made a brilliant tactical move. They simply replied to his post with, "We will be in touch."
And the internet completely lost its mind over 5 words.
Because it signaled a crack in the corporate armor. Then, during a June 3rd live stream, Speed opened an Instagram direct message from the official FIFA World Cup account.
Live on camera.
Live on camera in front of his audience. The message read, "We heard it, we liked it. It's on the official FIFA World Cup 2026 album."
Wow.
Just like that, by sheer force of audience will, He had forced his way onto the official track list, sitting right next to Andrea Bocelli and David Guetta.
Like I said earlier, FIFA used to own the only radio tower in town, so they got to broadcast the anthem and everyone had to listen. But Speed just gave 50 million fans their own walkie-talkies.
That's a great analogy.
FIFA didn't invite him inside because they wanted to. They invited him inside because he was already drowning out their signal.
Absolutely.
And it goes so much deeper than just tossing his song onto track 12 of an album. The sources show FIFA and Speed actually released a 63-second trailer filmed straight from FIFA headquarters in Switzerland.
And the optics of that video are just incredible. You have this hyper-professional, sterile corporate environment in Switzerland. And Speed is walking through the workstations, interacting with staff, wearing his Portugal jersey.
Just being his usual self.
Exactly. And then he is literally standing shoulder to shoulder with FIFA president Gianni Infantino to announce the World Cup 26 tour.
Wait, what was the tour exactly?
Speed was given an official role to conduct live, in real-life streams from host cities across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico to capture the fan atmosphere.
I mean, that is like the school principal inviting the rowdy class clown to co-host the morning assembly.
It really is.
Why would a highly regulated institution like FIFA hand a live microphone to a completely spontaneous, chaotic streamer known for doing backflips and barking at people? The risk seems astronomical.
It does seem risky, but it's a calculated survival strategy for legacy media.
Yeah.
FIFA recognized the blurring lines of modern celebrity.
Right.
Speed has 54 million YouTube subscribers. To capture the Gen Z and Gen Alpha demographics, an audience that might not sit through a traditional 90-minute television broadcast, but will happily watch 3 hours of a streamer reacting to a match, FIFA realized traditional PR is entirely invisible.
Yeah, a highly polished television commercial with a celebrity voiceover doesn't even register with that audience.
It's background noise. They needed Speed's authentic, unscripted connection with his viewers. By giving him an official role, they aren't trying to tame him. They're trying to harness his chaotic energy to make the tournament feel urgent to a demographic that ignores the old rules.
Which brings us right into the present moment. Now that the tournament has actually started, we can see exactly why this high-energy, fan-centric, slightly unhinged approach matters. It perfectly mirrors the actual drama happening on the pitch right now, today, June 17th, 2026.
Yeah, if you look at the matches being played today, they perfectly encapsulate why a song titled Champions with rough edges and frantic energy is resonating so deeply with the reality of the sport.
Let's look at the action in Group J. We just watched Lionel Messi make absolute history.
Oh, what a game.
He became the first player ever to participate in 6 World Cups, and he marked his 200th appearance for the Argentine national team by scoring a brilliant hat-trick in a 3-0 win over Algeria.
Unbelievable.
At 38 years old, he is still out there delivering these jaw-dropping, unpredictable masterclasses.
And then you contrast that historic brilliance with the sheer, agonizing drama of the Austria game today.
Right.
Austria came into this tournament carrying a heavy burden. They had not won a World Cup match in 28 years.
Almost 3 decades.
Right. And they were up against Jordan, a team making their absolute debut at the biggest football event on the planet. And the match was just pure emotional whiplash.
Oh, totally. Jordan comes out swinging, putting Austria under intense pressure right out of the gate. Issam Haddad hits the side netting in the 2nd minute.
Yeah, the panic in the stadium was palpable.
But then Austria's Romano Schmid scores an absolute screamer from outside the box in the 20th minute to relieve the pressure.
But Jordan refuses to back down. Ali Olwan scores Jordan's first ever World Cup goal in the 50th minute, curving a shot off the post and in.
You have this historic moment of triumph for one nation and mounting dread for the other.
Exactly. And then ultimately, an unfortunate own goal by Jordan's Yazan Al-Arab and a grueling pressure cooker penalty from Arnautovic in the 12th minute of stoppage time gives Austria a 3-1 victory.
The 12th minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, they end a nearly 3-decade drought in the most nerve-wracking way possible.
See, a highly polished pop song recorded in a sterile studio struggles to capture that specific frequency of stadium euphoria and panic.
Right.
But the unpredictability of a Messi hat-trick or the terrifying joy of a 92nd minute penalty to end a 28-year drought, that is the exact chaotic energy that Speed's track bottles up.
Perfectly said.
The sport is gritty, it is unpredictable, and it is loud. A song that sounds like the fans, imperfections and all, feels like the actual reality of being in those stands.
That is the core of this entire phenomenon. It is the sound of tension breaking. It is the sound of collective relief. When a creator understands the emotional frequency of an audience better than the institution throwing the event, the audience will simply adopt the creator's work as their reality.
We have literally watched the definition of a global superstar evolve over the last couple of weeks.
We really have.
The barrier to entry for defining the cultural soundtrack of a global event is no longer controlled solely by record labels and glass towers or official organizing committees with massive marketing budgets. A 21-year-old with a camera, a microphone, and a deep understanding of internet culture just rewired the entire system.
And, it leaves us with a massive question about the future of live events.
Yeah.
If a 21-year-old streamer can leverage his audience to force his way onto the official soundtrack of the world's biggest sporting event and secure a live streaming partnership directly with the president of the organization, what other traditional entertainment gatekeepers are about to be completely bypassed by the creator economy?
Oh, wow.
Like, are we going to see streamers dictating the narratives of the Olympics, the Oscars, the Super Bowl? The infrastructure is now in place for the audience to simply anoint their own champions, regardless of what the establishment has planned.
That is such a fascinating point. You really have to wonder who is actually in charge of pop culture anymore. Is it the institution on the broadcast tower, or is it the fan with the walkie-talkie? See you again in the next episode of this podcast.